Apple CarPlay, but for your motorcycle. Yeah, let's talk about it. So this is actually called the Ridecast. It acts like an Android Auto or an Apple CarPlay that you'd find in a car, but now it's going to be mounted on your motorcycle through the handlebars. For the specs, it goes like this. It's got a 5.0 IPS panel, it's got a 1080p resolution, and it also has a waterproof and dustproof rating of, I believe, an IP67. So it's going to be perfectly safe and fine on your motorcycle when you're riding along. If you do encounter some sun glare, you can also opt for adding the sun visor that actually mounts on top of the unit itself. When it comes to operating it or powering the unit, you can opt for either hardwiring it into the battery or using the USB-C port at the bottom of here to power it. With that over and done, should we go and mount it onto the motorcycle? If you come a bit closer, this is what to expect inside of the box. Starting off with the fact that you'll have your handlebar mount, of course, some spacers depending on what size and width your bars actually are, and Allen key. You'll get your IPS panel and a hard wiring kit for the IPS panel too. Now, if you want to use the visor panel, which we aren't using today, as you'll see in a little while, you're actually going to need to supply yourself with a screwdriver. Moving on to actually mounting it onto the motorcycle, we have to put the little rubber grommets inside the little plate there that you attach to the handlebar mount. Once that's said and done, you just place it on top of your IPS panel or your Ridecast, flip it over and actually put the screws in the back here. For the spacers, you'll get a varying degree of sizes that you need to put onto your motorcycle. Now for me personally, I have a 25mm bar, so I'd actually have to use the 25mm spacer. With this though, you'd have to stack them. So this is a 28 with a 25 to give me that 1 inch. As you can see, I've loosened the bolt on the side here to adjust the tilt of the unit. When it comes to mounting it onto my handlebars, I actually have to do it upside down to clear the gap between my key and the unit itself. Once you've got the spacers in the right place, you just clamp it down through the bolts using the supplied Allen key in the box. Righty then, so that's all nice and secure, I hope. Let's move to wiring it up to the battery. The reason why I opted to use it as a hardwired method is purely because it's easier for me to do it. I just wire it under the tank, connect it straight up to the battery, and bosh, that's going to be powered up and ready to use. That's all tightened up. Now we can move around to the front. What we need to do is just connect these two wires together, line up the pins, and then it should, hopefully, power on. So what we're going to do now is open the Bluetooth tab within the Ridecast itself. Once that's done, go into your settings on your phone, into the Bluetooth menu and search for Ridecast. Once it pops up, what you're going to do is press it and hopefully it will pair them together. Now it's all paired up, we can click into CarPlay because I'm using an iPhone, and we will see the UI here. On the side there, you've got your Waze, your music, your phone, and all those other bits and bobs there. You have your Waze on the side there. If you click into it, you'll see your full map view. So if you need navigation, you can go here, click that. You can type it in through the keyboard if you need to for your destination. If you go back to the main menu, you've got your music, your search bar, slide across, and you have all the apps there that you could ever wish for, as well as Ringo, which is kind of useless when you ride a motorcycle. Now, some of you guys might have a couple of questions on how to actually operate the music, so I'm going to answer them. So as long as your phone is connected up to your Cardo or your intercom unit, it'll play the music through your helmet. Now, if that's disconnected from your phone, it will come straight out of your phone instead of through your helmet. I hope that makes sense. Also, it doesn't take up another connection on the Cardo unit, so if you wanted to pair another device to this, then you still can without it taking up a slot. Final thoughts on the Ridecast. Positives and negatives are what we're going to be going through. So the positives are, it's clearly visible when you're out riding on the road. The functionality, as in this touchscreen sensitivity, is fantastic. It operates as it should, and the connection is quite strong between all devices connected up to each other. My only downside is the only having one sort of mount. So the only mount that it has is the handlebar one that goes straight directly in the middle there. If you have a motorcycle that has like a brace between your clamps on the actual bar itself, then you can't mount it there, you have to put it off somewhere else. And if you have clip-ons like on a sportier bike, if you wanted something like this on there, you're going to be hard done by. But this is also just a prototype at the moment, and they'll be releasing the full version soon. So hopefully they'll actually release some different mounts for us to choose from to cater for what sort of motorcycle we're riding. Overall, I thought it's a good little unit to have on the bike and something to consider if you're looking into TFT displays or CarPlay systems. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ride safe, and we'll see you soon. Put Taste Swift back on.